Today we're gonna try and make our own instant noodles from scratch, with a few successes and failures on the way. While everyone in the world is home right now baking bread, I thought I'd get a head start on the next evolution of bread, the noodle. The earliest origins of noodles date back to at least 2000 BCE in northwest China, where 4,000-year-old thin yellow noodles made of millet were discovered in an overturned bowl. Working my way through history, let's see if I can figure out how to make this Bronze Age dish. Everything we use comes from 8,000 generations of collective innovation and discovery, but could an average person figure it all out themselves and work their way from the Stone Age to today? That's the question we're exploring. Each week I try to take that next step forward in human history. My name is Andy, and this is How to Make Everything. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step in this journey. But first, a message from today's sponsor, Surfshark.
Oh no, I'm being hacked. Got it. God damn it, you're using a virtual private network.
With today's modern threats, protect yourself from outside risk with a powerful VPN like Surfshark. Surfshark allows you to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel. With the HackLock system, you'll get alerted anytime your email address or password is compromised. It can even help you save on roaming data while traveling by blocking unnecessary ads. Surfshark works on pretty much every device, can be used on an unlimited number of them. It's also useful for accessing geographically locked content, expanding your existing services, and allowing you to keep watching your favorite show even if you're traveling to a different country. Try risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Click on the link below and use promo code MAKEEVERYTHING for 85% off plus 3 extra months free. I want to make my noodles with a little bit of a modern twist and see how well I can replicate the modern mass-produced instant noodles that have become a worldwide staple of cheap and quick meals. So first up, let's collect a few supplies and make some simple tools I'll need later. Now for the ingredients of the noodles. It's suspected noodles began from an older tradition of bread in China, and some of the earliest mentions of noodles describe them more like dough balls that are boiled. So it's not surprising we're going to need basically the same ingredients I previously grew for making bread. Primarily wheat, which is threshed and then winnowed to extract just the wheat berries, and then ground on a current stone into flour. Whole wheat flour specifically, because we use the whole wheat berry. All right, let's make some noodles. Got everything ready. You got the ground flour, got a little bit of salt and some water, and that's pretty much all we need. Let's make some noodles. All right, so I got a couple plates of the noodles now, and just need to let them rest, take a little siesta for a couple hours, and then we should be able to stretch them and make some nice long noodles. So let's let them take a nap. All right, so these guys have been sitting for a while now, and should be all relaxed, and now I can start trying to stretch them out. Alright, so apparently I let the noodles relax a little too long and lost a lot of their stretchiness. So I made a new batch, much better. Unfortunately, it's kind of merged together while getting it ready, so it'll be a little bit of a pain, but we should be able to get some nice thin noodles now.
Jesus.
Much stretchier. My arms are too short. Get these to not all merge back together. So big old blob now. Untangle this knot. I learned a few things in my first attempt now at stretching noodles. First off is not to let it rest too long, because that makes it a lot less stretchy. And then when you cut them up, it's very important to keep them very straight and to not let them all merge back together. I was able to get pretty decent noodles though. They're not very consistent, but I think it should work for my instant noodles. Next up, I gotta cook these up pretty quick. Just go back to the fire. Those are noodles. I'm gonna throw it against the fridge to see when it's done. Pretty good. I think it's done. Just do one big one. Still let this go dry out. With my second batch turning out a little messy, I tried a third time and got some really nice long and more consistently shaped noodles. To preserve the noodles to eat later, they're left out to dry near a warm heat source. But noodles are incomplete just by themselves, and every package of instant noodles has that flavor package. So let's see if I can make my own as well. First up, let's use some leftover pieces of chicken. The chicken has died of natural causes. His head fell off, all of his feathers, very convenient. Then flavor it with some raw salt crystals I got to mine myself in Utah. And some of the pink peppercorn I harvested in California. Then I conveniently just started a planter box for some new herbs I've been growing. Basil, oregano, rosemary, thyme, and sage.
Easy.
As well as some onion and garlic I collected previously from the garden. Then add it all to a pot and get a broth going. Then take out the solid chunks and boil it to a thick slurry. Then let that dry out near a warm heat source and grind it all up. Then I should have a couple of seasoning packets. Then at this point, I've only made dried noodles. Actual instant noodles were invented in Japan in 1958 and changed the noodle game forever. Let's see if we can replicate the modern process in the Bronze Age. First, by using some olive oil we previously picked, crushed, and pressed. All right, so we got the noodles cooked and dried. And if you want actual instant noodles and not just dried noodles, we have to do a process called flash frying. And we have a pot of super hot oil, and we're just gonna throw this in there, and that will drive out any remaining water. And then in the process, it'll create these little porous holes that allow it to rehydrate quickly when we are ready to actually cook our meal. Then to package them all up into little pasta bricks with the seasoning packages, with a little inspiration from Lord of the Rings.
Lambus bread. And look, more lambus bread.
Now, let's dig in. So here's the completed bowl of instant noodle. So I didn't end up actually getting it to be an instant noodle because the oil over the fire was pretty hard to control the actual temperature. The flash frying attempt didn't really go out too well. So these guys took a little bit longer to cook up, maybe 10 minutes instead of the usual 3 minutes. Not quite instant, but it still tastes pretty good. The noodles broke up a little bit in the process of cooking, drying, and then reconstituting them. So I don't have quite the long noodles I was able to produce in my later batches. Broth turned out really good. Wasn't sure what to expect when I just boiled everything down into a powder, but it actually seemed to rehydrate pretty well. Yeah, so making the noodles was a bit of a challenge to get the hang of, to actually grow the grain, harvest it, process it into flour, also the olives, the olive oil, and then all the additional seasonings and all the ingredients for the broth. Figure it's roughly, I figure it's roughly 57 hours labor to actually produce this start to finish, which breaks down at minimum wage to $464. So it's almost $500 for this bowl of instant noodle. These guys cost like less than $1. These guys are still pretty much sold out now. Your only option, just gotta put a little bit of time into it. So it took a bit of work, but we got some instant noodles. Good. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out other content we have covering a wide variety of topics. Also, if you've enjoyed these series, consider supporting us on Patreon. We are largely a fan-funded channel and depend on the support of our viewers in order to keep our series going. Thanks for watching.